Hello everyone, I'm Ihan0212 and in today's video I'm gonna show you the latest news for DarkzoneBreaktrough, including a kind of newbie guide, but also some information about the current states of the iOS version of DarkzoneBreaktrough. Let's get started. Alright, as usual here you can see the Chinese post, which I'm gonna show you the translated version of it in a minute. So here it says Dark Zone Economics, so it's gonna be a guide. And then before watching the guide, after watching the guide, like a newbie and then a kind of Chad player. Entering the Dark Zone for the first time, misunderstandings that novice players will have. New to the area, misunderstanding that novice pioneers make. DarkzoneBreakout 2022, 2nd of April, 12 o'clock. Hello fellow pioneers, and welcome to the new issue of Dark Zone Economics. I'm OldPie. The Cutting Edge Test Season 2 season officially opened 2 days ago. I believe that many novice pioneers have just started their careers in the Dark Zone. However, as a real hardcore shooting mobile game, Dark Zone is not easy to get started. Don't panic. In addition to the detailed novice tutorials in the game, we recommend that prepared by LovePie in the past. We recommend that you review a series of economics content carefully prepared by LovePie in the past. It is very rich from map analysis to fitting suggestions and getting started with gun modification. Today, LovePie also wants to give you a review lesson from another perspective, the misunderstandings that are easy to occur when newbies enter the dark area. I hope to help you get started as soon as possible and welcome an expert in the dark area. So then we have a clip, which I will show you.
各位先锋，大家好，欢迎来到新一期的暗区经济学，我是老皮。新锐测试 S2 赛季于前2天正式开启，相信有不少新手先锋刚刚开启了自己的暗区生涯。不过，暗区作为一款真硬核射击手游，上手难度可不低哦。不要慌，除了游戏内详尽的新手教程外，推荐大家回顾一下以往老皮精心准备的一系列经济学内容，从地图解析到配装建议、改枪入门等十分丰富。今天老皮还想从另一个角度，新手进入暗区后容易产生的误解，来给大家上一堂复习课，希望能帮大家尽快上手，成为暗区专家。首先，希望大家记住一点。与其他 FPS 不同，暗区中最重要的目标是成功从地图中撤离，而不是击败尽可能多的敌人。具体来说，就是要在规定的时间内从出生点前往地图上标注的撤离点。在这个过程中，你可以选择去各个物资点搜刮一番，也可以选择从其他先锋和游荡者手中抢夺物资。不过，一旦被击败，或是超过限定时间未撤离，你将损失掉身上携带的大部分物品。根据进入暗区时选择的地图和模式，你拥有的撤离时间也会有所不同。具体可以查看左上角的倒计时。总体来说，这个时间还是比较充裕的。当撤离时间还剩下10分钟时，倒计时会显示为红色，此时就建议先锋们及时规划撤离路线了。每张地图都拥有多个撤离点，每局游戏开始时会随机开启部分撤离点，并且撤离条件也会有所不同。比如农场中回收站旁的猎人通道，就需要先锋们不装备背包才能撤离。先锋们在游戏开始时便点开地图，查看撤离点的位置和撤离条件，方便规划后续路线。值得注意的是，在战术行动模式中，部分撤离点即便显示在地图上，也会有概率无法开启。而伪装潜入模式下，由于行动时间较短，地图上显示的撤离点则全部可以撤离。当我们成功撤离时，可以带出所有获得的物资，这些物资既可以交给联络人完成任务兑换道具，也可以挂在市场上出售，还有些可以带入下一局使用。 如果撤离失败，则身上物资将全部掉落。这不仅意味着先锋会失去局中收集到的物资，也会损失带入对局的物资。当然，这其中也有特例，先锋们携带的近战武器、钥匙串中的钥匙以及保险箱中的物品可以保留。保险箱中的物品对局内可以随时替换。捡了好东西不要忘了放进去。而钥匙链则有点区别，游戏中的钥匙可以用来打开对应的上锁房间，从而获取宝贵的资源，而专门用来装钥匙的容器就是钥匙链，区别于保险箱。将钥匙放入钥匙链中，只能在对局外的仓库进行。前往不同地图时，记得切换钥匙链的配置。撤离过程中，先锋们会遇到很多会大声说话、到处游荡的人。他们又是谁呢？在暗区中，不仅有真人操作的其他先锋，还有很多自带武器和装备巡视地盘的游荡者。我们通常把他们叫做 AI 或者人机，所以当听到 AI 的喃喃自语时，不用太过紧张，毕竟非危险区域的人机大多是人体描边大师，不会给你造成太大麻烦。每个人机身上的武器和防具都不尽相同，先锋们可以根据自己的需要决定是否击败他们。有时绕道而行也不失为节省子弹、节省时间的好方法。在不同模式中 ，AI 对你的态度也大相径庭。战术行动中，他们会主动对你发起攻击；而在伪装潜入中，大部分的游荡者会以为你是友军，因此对你十分友好，除非你主动攻击。不过，常在危险区域出没的 BOSS 小队和其他伪装的先锋会看穿你的伪装，主动发起攻击。关于更多伪装潜入的介绍和技巧，还是推荐大家查看专门细讲伪装潜入的节目。顺利击败敌人之后，我们就可以开始愉快的搜刮。但其实，这才是你最容易被偷袭的时候。在暗区中，搜索战利品箱和各式装有物资的容器时，需要一定的搜索时间。在这期间，先锋们是无法做出其他行动的，你也无法看到周边的情况。这就给了听到交战声音后循声而来的其他先锋们偷袭的机会。所以，如何快速安全的舔包，也是先锋们需要学习的技巧。关于搜刮的教学，也有专门的内容介绍，老皮在此就不再赘述了。在撤离过程中不慎受伤又该怎么办？别着急，我们需要对症下药。首先分清楚是哪个部位受伤。在暗区中，身体被划分为头部、胸部、腹部、左臂、右臂、左腿、右腿7个部位。不同身体部位有着不同的健康值，并且受伤后影响也不同。当某个部位受伤时，健康值也会相应的下降，此时该部位呈现红色。如果该部位的健康值继续下降至0时，即进入损伤状态，显示为黑色。这时身体机能会受到影响，头部和胸部便是损伤及撤离失败的部位，所以要尽快治疗。手臂损坏时会降低我们的开枪速度和持枪稳定性，搜索物资的效率也大打折扣。腿部损伤会严重降低我们的移动速度，无法奔跑。那么我们要从哪里开始治疗？其实新手先锋最经常面临的是受伤、创口和损伤这3个状态。对应的医疗物资依次是医疗包、绷带和手术包。一般来说，大家会选择找个安全的角落，先打绷带，移除持续掉血，再做手术治疗损伤，最后再打医疗包恢复满健康值。当口袋和弹挂中有医疗物资时，我们可以快捷使用。但这样无法指定部位优先治疗。如果遇到医疗物资有限、身体又多处损坏的情况，可以打开背包后切换到健康页面，针对各个部位进行治疗。比如先治疗腿部损坏，恢复移动能力。当然，人生无常，就算做足了准备，先锋们也难免会体验到几局失败。在失败后，我们应该如何重整士气，重新出发呢？如果是在战术行动中失败，我推荐大家先把目光转向伪装潜入模式，在相对和平的状态下中熟悉地图、资源点和枪械，还可以带出一些常用物资。在战术行动时，新手先锋也可以放低姿态，以对付游荡者为主，比如选配2级左右的防弹衣和头盔，一把加装瞄准镜的手枪，或者相对廉价的自动武器和对应的子弹，如 T79 冲锋枪。再从联络人处花KNB买个轻型包和轻型弹挂，医疗物资带简易医疗包、绷带和消炎止痛药即可。这样单局的投入可以控制在1万KNB以内。在局内随便搜刮些物资即可回本，对付游荡者也比较轻松。如果想看更详细的配装建议，也可以看看之前配装相关的经济学内容，相信会对你有所帮助。好了，那么以上就是本期暗区经济学的全部内容了。如果觉得有价值，一定不要忘了点赞收藏哦。让我们下期节目再见吧。
All right. So yeah, this was the post, and now here I want to show you this GIF as well, and then I will continue the text. There are, I think, in total of 3 GIFs in this post that I will show you. So this one basically shows this extraction point near the gain factory station, or great gain trading station. Alright, so a thought battle to win, DarkzoneBreakout, #DarkAreaBreakout, #creators common misunderstandings of newbies, the video number. So, entering the Dark Zone. First of all, I want you to remember that unlike other FPS, the most important goal in Dark Zone is to successfully evacuate from the map, not to defeat as many enemies as possible. Specifically, it is to go from the birth point to the evacuation point marked on the map within the specified time. During this process, you can choose to scavenge various material points, or you can choose to snatch materials from other pioneers and rocks. However, once you are defeated, or if you fail to evacuate within the time limit, you will lose most of the supplies you carry. Unless you have a secure case, and everything that's inside there won't be lost, but it's just stupid. Like, try to evacuate if you can. That's your main goal. This game is about survival, not about killing others. It's definitely not a battle royale, so forget that mindset. Depending on the map and the mode you selected when entering the dark area, the evacuation time you will have also vary. You can check the countdown in the upper left corner for details. Generally speaking, this time is still relatively sufficient. When there are 10 minutes left in the evacuation time, the countdown will be displayed in red. At this time, it is recommended that the pioneers plan the evacuation route in time. So here was the GIF. When 10 minutes are left, the countdown is displayed in red, as you can see. There. Each map has multiple evacuation points, some of which will be opened randomly at the beginning of each game, and the evacuation condition will also be different. For example, the Hunter passage next to the recycling station in the farm requires the pioneers to evacuate without a backpack. Therefore, it is recommended that the pioneers click on the map at the beginning of the game to check the location of the evacuation point and evacuation conditions, so as to plan the subsequent route. It is worth noting that the tactical action mode, some evacuation points may not be opened even if they are displayed on the map. While in the camouflage sneak mode, due to the short action time, all the evacuation points displayed on the map can be evacuated. So for example, this point, like near the water, it says, I think it has a 50% chance to open for each game, so know that. Some evacuation points may not be able to be opened. I'm not sure if this one is a GIF or not. I think, no, it's not a GIF. Okay, let's continue. Bring out supplies. When we successfully evacuate, we can bring out all the acquired supplies. These materials can be handed over to the contact person to complete tasks and exchange items, or they can be sold on the market, and some can be used in the next round. If the evacuation fails, all the materials on his body will fail, which not only means that Xianzheng will lose the materials collected in the game, but also the materials brought into the game. Of course, there are exceptions. The melee weapons carried by the pioneers, the keys in the keychain, and the supplies in the safe can be kept. The materials in the safe can be replaced at any time in the game. If you find something, don't forget to put it in. The keychain is a little different. The keys in the game can be used to open corresponding locked rooms to obtain valuable resources, and the container specifically used to hold the key is the keychain, which is different from the safe. Putting the key into the keychain can only be done in the warehouse outside the office. Office here remains or represents the raid, so you can't put, well, for example, I think this also was kind of updated not so long ago in Escape from Tarkov. You can't put your keys in your safe box. you need to put them first in your regular rig or backpack. You need to successfully evacuate them, and then you are allowed and able to put them in your keychain or in your safe. In Escape from Tarkov, if I know it correctly. Anyways, in DarkzoneBreaktrough, you can't put keys on your keychain. I don't know safe because I don't use safe. Unless you successfully evacuated with it. So it kind of higher the risks when you find a key that you need to escape if that key is worth a lot. Alright, let's continue the text. Remember to switch the keychain configuration when going to different maps. Alright, then here is the supplies loaded into safes and keychain will not be lost after failed evacuation. So here is the GIF. Alright, let's continue the text. Rogue, or as well as Scav. During the evacuation process, the pioneers encountered many people who were talking loudly and wandering around. Who were they? In the Dark Zone, there are not only the pioneers, who are operated by human beings, but also many rogues who patrol in the territory with their own weapons and equipment. We usually call them AI or human machine. Okay, so that's the human machine. So don't be too nervous when you hear the rocks muttering to themselves. After all, most rocks in non-dangerous areas are masters of body strokes and won't cause you much trouble. The weapons and armors on each rock are different. The pioneers can decide whether to defeat them according to their own needs, and sometimes taking a detour is a good way to save bullets and time. So this picture shows that you can check which weapon the rogue or the scav holds, and in this picture you can clearly see that it's an SKS, and that's the reason why it's 5K5, because the S of course looks like 5, so the translator saw it as 5. Alright, and here's the picture without the translator, so you can also see the small simple backpack. So before you kill it, you can already see what is on. Now, next part. In different modes, the rogue's attitude toward you is also very different. In tactical operations, they will take the initiative to attack you. So if you go in as PMC, they will attack you, eventually. In disguised infiltration or player scav mode, most rogues will think you are an allied army, so they are very friendly to you, unless you actively attack. I'm not sure if they include it, I will include it if they don't. But boss squads and other disguised vanguard that appears in dangerous areas will see through your disguise and take the initiative to launch attack. Alright, I was so interested if they included that. So, the boss guards, like the men's team, they also call it, like the kind of minions of the boss, those will attack you if you are a scav player. So watch out from that. Like in the motel on the farm map. And you might have not seen yet, I don't know if it's already published or not. We had a raid with GP and Jess in the trio, and we went on the farm map, we joined as a scav, and GP was immediately killed by raiders. And raiders, like in Escape from Tarkov, like these scavengers, like kind of scavengers, so it's an AI faction. No, not faction. It's an AI faction that will attack both PMCs and scav players. So note that. They're mostly in a group, in a big group, so yeah, it makes sense. And also how you can encounter them, well, they have a chance to spawn, as well as the boss. That also have a chance to spawn. Unfortunately, I don't know that chance. Right, let's continue the text. For more introductions and techniques of camouflage infiltration, we recommend that you check out the program dedicated to camouflage infiltration. Learn these camouflage infiltration skills and become a master of $0 purchases in the dark area. After successfully defeating the enemy, we can start to loot happily, but in fact, this is when you are most vulnerable to sneak attacks. In the dark area, when searching for loot boxes and various containers containing supplies, a certain search time is required. During this time, the pioneers can't do anything else, and you can see what's going on around you. Let's see if they include it or not. This gave the other pioneers a chance to sneak attack after hearing the sounds of fighting. Therefore, how to lick the bag quickly and safely is also a skill that pioneers need to learn. The success rate of evacuation is increased by 100%. You must learn the quick search skills. So this is another, this is how it looks like in WeChat. So these are like links that you can, so here is one, and here's the other one. Tap, and then it opens to that guide, but I think I already covered these. Like as you can see, this was posted on 2021. So let's continue. There is also a special introduction to the teaching of search, so I won't repeat it here. Thank you. Yes, exactly. Alright, they don't notice it. So quick note, when you are looting, you can hear sounds around you unless someone is slow walking. When someone is slow walks, you no, that's not true. Excuse me. So again, when you are looting, you can see the volume meter, like the soundbar meter, that shows the direction of footsteps, shooting, etc. And then a quick note, when someone is slow walking, you can't see it on the sound meter, but you can hear the sounds. Like when someone is slow walking, you can hear the sounds. Unless you are wearing some specific headphones, but that's totally another criteria and different state, so I'm not talking about that right now. Right. And of course, if you are wearing a helmet, some can cover your ears, you can hear less, so etc, etc, etc. But they didn't cover that, like you can see, but you can see, like you can see your surrounding, but you can see the sound of the surrounding by visual reflection. Right. So, injury and treatment. What should I do if I accidentally get injured during the evacuation? Don't worry, we need the right medicine. First, figure out which part is injured. In the dark area, the body is divided into 7 parts: head, chest, abdomen, left arm, left leg, and right leg. Oh, so it's called abdomen and not stomach. Okay. Different body parts have different health values and have different effects after injury. When a part is injured, the health value will decrease accordingly, and the part will appear red at this time. If the health value of this part continues to drop to 0, it will enter the damage state, and it will be displayed in black. So that's when I say it, some part of me got blacked out. It will, at this time, bodily functions will be affected. The head and chest are the areas where the injury failed to evacuate, so it should be treated as soon as possible. With other words, if your head gets blacked, you're dead. If your chest gets blacked, you're dead. I'm not sure about the chest basically, but I'm pretty sure about the head. Because the chest, what I know about, but I can't remember it correctly, if the chest gets blacked, you will additionally receive damage all around your body, and you can die literally from one tap, no matter where that hits you, at least if that hits you in the chest. For the head, I'm sure that if it gets blacked out, you're dead. For the arms, let's see. When the arm is damaged, it will reduce the speed of opening the camera and the stability of the gun, and the efficiency of searching for materials will also be greatly reduced. They didn't note something. When you are reloading, like the bullet for bullet reloading, that's also slowed down. And depending on the like how many parts of you are injured, it can slow down really quick. Now, I don't have the stats, how fast that is, or percentage-wise what that influence. You will need to see it yourself. Right. Leg injuries can severely reduce our speed of movement and make it impossible to run. Injuries to the abdomen result in the inability... Alright, so about the leg, if I know it correctly, when your leg is blacked out, you can jump. So that can pretty hurt. And I'm not sure, but if you take a painkiller when your legs are blacked out, but I think they will talk about it later, that can fix your stress that you're... I call it stress, they call it vision blur. You will see in a minute. You can fix, so-called fix, that stress for a period of time, depending on the... depending on the injury. Depending on the painkiller type, basically. And then you can run again, and you can jump again, but I'm not sure if you jump too much, then you will receive additional damage. Because your leg is basically hurting, but you don't feel it. But you will see the additional damage, I'm not sure. But something to note here. Alright. Injuries to the abdomen result in the inability to lie down and accelerate the loss of water and energy. Oh, I didn't know that. So when your abdomen or your stomach hurts, like very hurts, you can't lay down anymore? That's interesting, because it hurts too much that you can't lay down on it. Very interesting. So here are the pictures of the different things. So we have, if you're injured, they call it injured, then take damage and reduce health. So that's the effect. Then you can trade that with medicines like Jane's Other Urgent White. We have this I think general medicine. We have this red one, the first aid kit, those stuff. When you are wound, then causes parts to lose health over time. You basically blood, and you need a bandage to fix your blooding. And blooding can basically reduce health of that specific part of your limb, unless, but I'm not sure with this one, chest or either abdomen. If there is blood, they spread it all around the body, like all around the player. One of those, I'm not quite sure right now. Then here's the thing, they call it blurred vision, I call it shock. You can treat that with painkillers. So it's basically pain that you are killing, and that's why your vision is blurred. Then we have the water shortage, which can be caused by many things. Either your abdomen is blacked out and it just loses water constantly, because that's what it does. Like when your chest is blacked out, you're not only having losing basically food somehow, like it's kind of leaking, but you're also losing water. And if you lose water, your head is going to basically, I think it has the same effect that I thought it has when it's bleeding. All your body is getting affected, but most importantly, your head health lowers over time. So you can die by not drinking. That's really, really cool, actually. Not cool, but it's good that this mechanic is in existence in the DarkzoneBreaktrough. Alright. You can treat that with different drinks, of course. Then you have the Suver machine hunger. So hunger causes the health. I have a next pick. Causes the health value to continue to decline, the maximum stamina to decrease, the consumption to increase, and recovery rate to decrease. Like you can eat different types of food, and that can increase your hunger, or basically reduce your hunger, but increase the energy level of you. But some food also requires water, so from your body, so then your thirst increases. So basically your water, householding decreases. It's kind of that thing. All right. Then the severe lung damage, the chest will continue to lose health, the movement speed will be greatly reduced, and the maximum stamina will be greatly reduced. Also one thing to note, when you're hungry, and I'm not sure when you're thirsty, but you lose stamina massively when you are running, like massively. And then we have this lung damage, and I think you can get lung damage from toxic nades. I personally didn't get any yet, hopefully I won't. And to or either prevent that or reduce that effect of the nade, gas masks were introduced. However, gas masks has the like effect or thing that they covered your vision, because like in real life you can see perfectly if you have gas mask on you, can you? So yeah, that's what it does. Right, then we have the full knee, which means weightness. Reduces movement speed, prevents sprinting and jumping, and increases fall damage. So that's very interesting. Over time, when you carry just too much, then you will get this icon. First, it will appear in yellow. That's like light overweightness, and then red, which is heavily overweightness. And if you're heavily overweight, and this effect also increases, I'm not sure if there is like a green one or not, like slightly overweighted. I'm not sure. But when that effect, when this debuff is not on, then it means that you are not overweighted. So you will function normally. So what it does is you can't run that fast, like your speed is very reduced. You can jump, like when your leg is broken. And you, what was that? Oh yeah, when you fall down. I didn't notice that myself because mostly I don't loot that much, but I will try it eventually ever. So when you have fall damage and you are with a very, very, very heavy bag or equipment, you will get more fall damage. So probably a higher chance to break your legs, for example. To prevent this, there are different drugs, and I don't know them, but they can make you stronger for a certain time. Right, then we have the damage, or basically what I call pain. Yeah, it's basically damage. Makes the part unable to restore health values. Must be repaired with a surgical kit. So yeah, you have like a wound. You get shot, and if it's blacked out, it's gonna has this state. So I call it the black. I also call it the blacked out state, but it's called damage here. You can also say it's pain, basically. You can also say the other is pain shock. It's up to you, basically. It's just a thing that I prefer to use. So you can kind of so-called fix it with painkillers for a certain time, or you can permanently fix it with a surgical kit. And then it will be represented as red, which was shown in the video. And from there on, you can heal up normally with a normal medkit. Some medkits are also allowed to do. You can also fix like damages, or blacked out limbs with certain medkits. Alright. Then we have the tinnitus, decreased hearing capacity. Now, two things. You can get this after shocking nade, after like getting closed by an exploding shocking nade, getting exploded by not sure about flash. I don't think flash has that. Regular nade, and you can also get reduced hearing if you're wearing a helmet that covered your ears. And there is then the buff, like when you hear some kind of headphones that can amplify some stuff and reduce some kind of signals. As I said, I'm not going to cover that too detailed in this video. So yeah. Right, negative effects of abnormal status. So where do we start treatment? In fact, novice pioneers are most often faced with the 3 states of injury: wound and injury. The corresponding medical supplies are medical kits, bandages, and surgical kits in order. Generally speaking, people will choose to find a safe corner to apply a bandage to remove the continuous blood loss. Oh yeah, one other thing to mention: when you are prone and you start equipping anything, you can't stand up unless you stop the animation. So quick note there. And maybe if you are fixing your legs or using surgery kit in general, you can move even when you are crouched or standing. Maybe when you can stand, I'm not sure. You need to check that yourself. I can't remember that correctly at this moment, but if I remember correctly, that's how it is. Right, use bandages, surgical kit, medical kit in sequence. So, first use the bandage to stop bleeding. Then use the surgical kit, use the surgical kit and then use a medical kit to fix your health. What they did forget to mention is the painkiller. Pop in a painkiller when you are in a fight and get to a point where you are safe and then follow this sequence. Right. When there are medical supplies in the pockets and bullets, we can use them quickly, but it is impossible to give priority to the designated parts for treatment if the medical supplies are limited and the body is damaged in many places. You can open the backpack and switch to the health page to treat each part, such as treating leg damage first and restoring mobility. Right, so it kind of says you can fix, for example, you have a surgical kit, and your leg is damaged. You can either use it if it's in your pocket or it is in your rig. You can use it from the quick access bar, like the button on the user interface. Or if it's in your backpack, you can click it from your backpack and access it. But what it says, when you have multiple parts, and I'm not sure if that's true or not, or it basically just randomly picks up something to fix, basically. Then you have this, like the health icon that you can tap, and then this opens up this page in the raid, and you can also not simultaneously, but you can also tap surgical kit that you want. No, I'm bad. My bad. So you first need, for example, your right leg is damaged. Then you tap this icon, or this part, then it highlights. And then you can choose which thing to apply, either like pain or blacked out things. I think this one is shock, and this is like health, or something like that. One of them is like all of the stuff that you can have on you. So that's how it works. When there are medical supplies in the pockets and bullets, oh yes, I just read that. I think this one is a gift, so I will just quickly switch to here. As you can see, it opens the health menu to fix the leg. And then here, after fixing the leg, you can see that it becomes red, and then you need to use medical kit, not surgical kit. Yeah, we're almost ready. Like, we're almost done. In the health interface, you can manually select the damaged part for targeted treatment. Learn to fit. Of course, life is impermanent, and even with adaptive preparation, pioneers will experience a few rounds of failure. How should we restore morale and start again after a failure? If you fail in tactical operation, I recommend that you turn your attention to the camouflage sneak mode first. Familiarize yourself with the map, resource points, and firearms in a relatively peaceful state. And you can also bring out some common materials. In tactical operations, or PMC mode, the novice Xiangzheng, so Xiangzheng is the player, can also lower his stance and mainly deal with rocks. For example, choose level 2 body armor and helmet, a pistol with a scope, or a relatively cheap automatic weapon and corresponding bullets, such as the T-79 submachine gun. And then spend coins from the contact to buy a light bag and light bomb hanger. For medical supplies, bring simple medical kits, bandages, and anti-inflammatory and painkillers. In this way, the investment in a single game can be controlled within 10,000 Kuan coins. Yeah, that's still much, but yeah. And you can get back the cost by scavenging some materials in the game, and it is easier to deal with rocks. If you want to see more detailed assembly suggestions, you can also look at the economics related to the previous assembly. I believe it will help to you. A small investment can also make a foray in the dark area. Okay, so the above is the whole content of this issue of Dark Zone Economics. If you think it is valuable, don't forget to like it. Let's see you in the next episode. What is DarkzoneBreakout? Learn about renaming, test qualification acquisition, click to learn more, then click to read the original text to get more official latest information. Here is the QR code, then pay attention to get the public number to get new welding, and then wechat Suishu DarkzoneBreaktrough pre-order game. Right. Now, here comes the thing. The devs have already mentioned a couple of times, iOS is not available in this test, iOS is not available in this test, it is in development, they are working on it, etc, etc. Now, when you go to the official website now, which is linked in the description down below, it will drop you at this moment. This message always switches and changes to this message. Translated, it shows this. Dear Darzone Pioneers, first, Darzone Breakout Hardcore Gathering and Release event will start from April 1st to April 4th at 10 AM in the morning. In this event, players can invite friends to make an appointment to get the qualification for the test. The daily number is limited while stock lasts. Then second, and this is why you were waiting so long, Darzone Breakout has opened iOS reservations. Players using the iOS system can click here to make an appointment in the default browser. So, like when you enter, I entered from WeChat in this picture, and I couldn't tap this icon or that area. Then I went from my own videos to, this is linked from YouTube, and then it can translate, because it opens with a browser that can translate Chinese. So here's the Chinese translation I just said. Then you are allowed to click this point, then it will drop you here, which is an app store site made for Darzone Breaktrough from Tencent Mobile Games. And age restriction says 70 plus. Right. Then I went to English mode, and this is what it says. This is the preview for Darzone Breakout for the iOS version. Darzone Breakout is a high-fidelity hardcore shooting mobile game, creating a new immersive Darzone battlefield experience. This is a battlefield full of unknowns and dangers, with a high degree of freedom of tactics and strategy. Successfully carrying supplies and evacuating from the Dark Zone is your ultimate goal. You can search for supplies all the way and return with a full load, or you may be ambushed and lose everything. The countdown has started. Get ready and be careful, because it's going to be a tough battle. Game features. First, the battle begins here before entering. Before entering the battle, you need to choose the entry equipment to determine your combat power. Is it a full-suited boss, a health-suited civilian, or a naked runner? Different strategies, different battle experience. Every choice is closely related to your harvest. This is a heartbeat challenge with a high degree of freedom. Second, withdrawal of gold depends on strength. In the battle, you can collect various valuable materials or fight with other players, rocks, and elite leaders in the map. Get loot from them, put them in your backpack, and take them out of the Dark Zone. Third, fighting, you need to use different tactics to help yourself break through, whether it's a roundabout, ambush, or a frontal shot. Remember, it's your goal to evacuate with supplies. When you aim at the enemy, you may also be exposed within range. Break through and win in the dark area. As long as you successfully break through, the materials you collect will become your wealth. Here, life and death are not the final victory or defeat. Successfully bringing out your materials and realizing wealth Accumulation will be the core fun to you to enter the game. It's up to you to come home full or lose everything, depending on your ever action. 5th, free modification of firearms after successfully breaking firearms. After successfully breaking through the battlefield, you can use the high degree of freedom realistic firearms transformation system to assemble accessories, transform firearms, and prepare for the next Dark Zone game. 500 plus bolt accessories, variety of bullet options, create your own dark area firearms. So, that was it for today. Yeah, here are some basic informations, like compatibility, iOS 11 or later, iPad 11, iPad iOS 11 or later, or iPad Touch requires iOS 11 or later, something like that. 2.3 gigabyte is the size to download the game. Then I'm not sure, but I think you additionally need to download the maps and some stuff. So just count around 4 GB, 4 gigabyte free space, at least. Now, because I don't have an iOS version, I couldn't see any additional information, but someone, user, showed me his information, and it says this: pre-order expected 26th of July 2022. So we have a date for the iOS version. Of course, it is expected. It's not like sure 100% that it will be launching on iOS. Also note Chinese iOS at this date, but at least we kind of getting information about getting it to iOS. And then after the Chinese iOS, I assume it slowly will get to the global version as well as the PC port. Actually, I forgot to mention something. It's kind of fun. Today is actually the 4th of April, so that you know it. And another thing before you worry about DarkzoneBreaktrough mentioned specifically, they are not going to do cross-platform servers. So emulator users will be separated from mobile users, and they will block emulators that try to use it against other mobile players. And they will ban pretty hardly, so don't even think about. Right, so that was it. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something that you didn't know before. Feel free to react, comment, like, dislike, ring notification bell if you want. It's up to you. I'm not forcing you. Subscribe even if you want. And I will see you next time. Bye.